Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is June 28th, and right now we're looking at the visible satellite imagery. You can see that marine there pushed up against some of the coastal regions here across the interior. As per usual, it's much more clear. A lot of sunshine out there as the sun rising over the Pacific Ocean and the southwest USA. As we go on in through a little bit closer here, I want to show you what happened yesterday. You can see some of this cumulus clouds build up there across some of the east slopes of the Sierra Nevada towards the California-Nevada border, but I did not see any lightning strikes associated with that activity there. And then here we are this morning. You can see that marine there pushed in to some of the Bay Area, but there is some sunshine to be had out there as well. And if you go a bit north of the Bay Area, you can see there is some sunny skies along the coastline there as well. If you want your own weather station that detects lightning, it does a lot of stuff, stores all the data for you in the cloud. Very fun weather station. It's got a great smartphone app. Click on that link down below to save 10% off. Composite reflectivity. So I'm going to scroll through here pretty quick. So we just got a few scattered showers across the Sierra Nevada. But as we go through the day on Monday, check it out as we go through Monday afternoon. You can see near Lake Tahoe, thunderstorm activity, some heavier rain starting to pop up. These could be prolific lightning producers. And as we go on through the afternoon of Monday, towards the end of the North American model's high resolution run, you can kind of see this thunderstorm activity there on Monday. So more on that here in a moment. We'll take a look at some of the extended runs as we go on into the early portion of July. So here we are with the European. You got Hawaiian Islands, bottom left. There's the state of California. So this is what's going to trigger some of that thunderstorm activity. See this bit of an upper level low right off the coastline there. That could be kicking off some thunderstorms here as we go through Monday, Tuesday, maybe on through Wednesday. And then we have the chance of getting a surge of some monsoon moisture through the extended forecast. You can kind of see a tropical system out here towards Baja, down towards Cabo, and kind of moving northward there. I'm watching that here over the next few days. We've got some discrepancy still in the models, which I'll show you here starting in a moment. But looking at the European artificial intelligence as of last night, precipitable water, you can kind of see the below normal here in the brown, above normal in the green. So let's put this into motion. And here we go on through Monday. You can kind of see the little curl in the atmosphere there. That's that upper level low kicking off some of that precipitation. We go through Monday, Tuesday, and maybe through Wednesday. And then you can see that tropical system kind of get caught up into the flow and being brought up in towards Arizona and then towards the deserts of California there. And look at this monsoon moisture on last night's artificial intelligence model run. It kind of floods a lot of the southwest portions of California and Nevada. We're looking way off into the extended forecast, but it is something kind of interesting that's been showing up at times. And then at the very end of the run, you can kind of see an atmospheric river-looking feature going into the Pacific Northwest. Take that with a grain of salt as of right now. But taking a look here at what that would mean. So we scroll through the day on Monday and kind of see that thunderstorm activity kick off across some of the Sierra Nevada, northern California, especially the higher terrain. Then we go through Tuesday, similar thing, rinse and repeat there. We go on in through Wednesday yet again, and then we go through Thursday. A little bit of a break there, but then we start to look off and start to find when this moisture is going to move northwestward here across the region. So we got to scroll way out. We're now 10 plus days out in the forecast. You can kind of see some of this moisture moving towards the desert areas of California, some of the Southern California mountains, maybe the Peninsula Transverse Range up towards the Sierra Nevada as we go on in through July 8th. There's July 9th. Look at some of that monsoon moisture kind of streaming into Nevada and California there on the European artificial intelligence. So again, I'll show you what the European and the GFS have been showing on that as well. They are not in great agreement with this surge of moisture, but it is kind of interesting to see it in the models. Now, if we scroll through here, this is total precipitation yesterday afternoon's European versus the GFS. The GFS is the global forecast system. That is the USA model. So I'm going to scroll through here and just kind of go fast because they don't show too much. They show some of this afternoon thunderstorm activity here across northern and some of the Sierra Nevada here in the upcoming days. But as we go way off into the forecast, they don't show a lot of precipitation coming across California, the desert, southwest, southeast portions of California, all the way through the 15-day period. But we'll watch that because it does look like there is some monsoon moisture moving up into Arizona. We'll see just how far west that will make its way. So don't get too caught up in that extended forecast just yet. So national blended models this morning here. We're going to Saturday, June 28th. Pretty warm out there. You can see the hundreds across many of the valley areas, desert areas as well. Southern California, especially when you get away from the coastal areas, warming up quite nicely. And of course, if you want to beat the heat, get up towards Northwest California coastal areas. But look, by the time you go towards Monday here, I mean, you're talking about 115 out there just south of Las Vegas, some of the desert areas. Palm Springs, probably nice and toasty here on Monday. And we we go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we start to cool things down a bit here as we go towards the 4th of July. There's the 4th of July right there. High temperatures, not too bad. You can see some lower in mid-90s, but definitely not above 100 degrees as we are going to be dealing with over the next few days. So a nice cool down to look forward to. Relatively speaking, of course, still some of the desert areas get up over 100 degrees there as we go through the 4th of July. There's the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. Take that with a grain of salt. We'll worry about that as we get a little bit closer. But if we look at where we've been since April 1st, you can see much of the state has been above average, but the coastal regions have actually been slightly below normal here for many areas, all the way up and down the California coastline. But the interior areas have been another story, especially some of the higher terrain areas of Northern California there in the Sacramento Valley, San Joaquin Valley, generally above average. Here's a percent of average precipitation. You can see widespread, pretty well below normal here across much of the state of California, except for the extreme southeast portion, which doesn't get a lot of precipitation during this period, so it's easier to skew those numbers. Now, looking at 6 to 10 day, this was updated yesterday. Look at that below normal signal kind of creeping in there. Here is the 4th of July 6 to 10 day forecast period is there, and then the 6 to 10 day precipitation, kind of a mixed bag here, near normal for a lot of California, but the monsoon signal still continues to show in the extended forecast for places like Arizona. But yeah, anyway, we'll keep an eye on that. We'll watch tomorrow to see what the models show and what kind of updates we do have with the potential of some of that monsoon moisture. How far west will that get? That upper level low kicking off some activity here, especially as we go through Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We'll revisit that. Hopefully you guys are having a good day. Otherwise, click like and subscribe. We'll do this all again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.